So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728 and Donald Trump's legacy. I think that putting 3 Supreme Court justices on the bench, I think that this is going to be the thing that he is most likely remembered for. And of course, most of it is accomplished just by luck on his part. The fact that he is President of the United States of America at this time is really it. It's no real design that one can say. He's certainly not someone who spends a whole lot of time considering the different options and what they mean. He just has his gut, visceral reactions and he goes with them. And putting 3 Supreme Court justices, conservative Supreme Court justices, on the U.S. Supreme Court, I think this is probably going to be a pretty big deal for a long time. The Supreme Court can, of course, one of the big things that conservatives want is to overturn Roe versus Wade. And this might be something that can be accomplished by what Donald Trump is probably almost about to do. I don't see that Democrats really have much of a shot at preventing this. I think that it's 4 Republicans would have to say no, and it doesn't really look like that's the case. So, yeah. Of course, he has his, the tax cut that everybody wanted. And he's also the president at the time when the census is being taken. So that he, as we already, most people might know, he is already reducing, or through the people below him, they're reducing the amount of time that's being spent collecting census data, which can potentially skew the information that's gathered towards something that conservatives would prefer. That might be illegal, but that has not ever stopped Donald Trump before. I mean, he's been impeached and he's gotten away with that, people would say. So, and even with respect to the post office, the person that he put there is trying to implement things that would reduce how effective mail-in voting would be, when they should be doing things to help mail-in voting, which would undoubtedly save some people's lives. And he's also the president when there's when this pandemic is going on. There have been other presidents who have been in a position to do important things. Barack Obama was able to pass Obamacare, as it's been named. He was able to get Osama bin Laden. He won a Nobel Peace Prize. But I suppose his lasting legacy will be primarily Obamacare, which has been very resilient in spite of everything that the Republicans and Trump wanted to do. I think if to the people who really take a close look at why Trump got into the race, I would say that it cemented when Obama jokingly mocked Trump and was saying that, I think it was at the correspondence dinner, where he said, these are certain things that you will never be. You'll never be president like me. And I think that would have been the moment when Trump would have decided that, oh yeah, well, we'll see about that. But fortunately or unfortunately, I think that Trump is clearly going to have a much more influential legacy than Obama. It could be that I'm just thinking that. I mean, Obama, of course, was the first non-white U.S. president. And that's definitely a big achievement. If we look at the Oscars, for example, though, and we see how long it has been since a non-white person has won another Oscar as Best Actor or Actress, we can realize that that's probably going to take a really long time to have a repeat. We can't say never, even though we still have not seen another Best Actor or Actress who is not white winning an Oscar even though it's been a longer time than Barack Obama has been out of the presidency. But yeah, clearly it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So he has that. But in terms of that tax cut, huge. In terms of being the president while this pandemic is going on, huge. In terms of being remembered, huge in terms of the effect, the number of deaths, huge in terms of course, it could have been handled completely differently, and the U.S. could have had the respect of the world instead of shock and awe in the wrong direction. Huge in terms of, the whole trade war with China. Huge in terms of putting these 3 Supreme Court justices on the bench, the effects of which will last, as people say, for decades to come. I think that this is part of, if Trump is not reelected, this will be the cap on a very, very tumultuous period for the U.S. Of course, 9/11 was a big thing. People in Afghanistan and Iraq, the U.S. is, well, not so much in Iraq, but in Afghanistan, they're still there. But even if people don't, use Donald Trump's name, the fact of the matter is that so much was done that conservatives would be happy about. This will be the president. He might be remembered in the way that Ronald Reagan was remembered, and not because, Reagan, I think, had bipartisan support from the people. He had a high popularity, but given the bipolar structure of politics in the U.S. at this point, Trump was probably going to be remembered more by conservatives because he was so contentious and he accomplished so much. I don't know of anybody, like I said, who would have put 3 Supreme Court justices on the bench, and the effects of that are huge, especially in a time when one would have thought that 1, a liberal would have been the president, and 2, that the U.S. would be leaning towards liberal policies, even if it was not a liberal president in charge. One would never have thought that it would be things would be shifted in such a drastic direction, or a drastic difference in terms of the way in the world see the U.S. So I think he definitely will be remembered, even outside of the presidency, if he is not reelected. Of course, if he is reelected, I think that he probably will be, his legacy will be enormous. It would be absolutely enormous. And I think the fact that he seems about to put these 3 justices onto the bench, I think any right-leaning person who was thinking of maybe not voting potentially, I think they're going to come out, even people who are Democratic, and let's say they want Roe versus Wade overturned in their heart of hearts, I think this might be the thing that turns them. I think this might be the thing that makes them say, yeah, okay, all right, let's see. So, especially given the fact that the polls are still somewhat close, and they're probably likely to become closer, it remains to be seen. But if he is reelected, I think that it really, for better or worse, this will be a punctuation mark. This will be something, his term or terms will be a definite, you'll be able to see the difference before and after. Anybody looking through history is going to be able to see a clear demarcation, a line in the sand, that so many things changed while or when Donald Trump became president. So anyway, guys, you have a good one. Peace.